Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stock Market Today. It's Coram and Ed Carson here with a breakdown of the action in today's session, where we saw stocks look pretty resilient amid some hot inflation data, and especially the NASDAQ composite.
Yeah, that's right. And leading stocks might have been even better. A lot of stocks flash buy signals, including Boeing, Wingstop, and Marriott.
We'll take a look at those stocks, but first, let's analyze the major indexes. So the NASDAQ today closing up 0.6% in a roller coaster ride of the day, which was to be expected with a volatility after the CPI report came out. We had the S&P 500 closing roughly flat, just a smidge lower, and the Dow lagging today, off by about 0.5%. The Russell 2000 finished up 0.2% today. So the NASDAQ leading today, Ed. We saw a strong day on Monday. Things are looking pretty good here. And like you said, looking underneath the surface as well, some pretty strong action for individual names.
Yeah, it was, as this was pretty much as strong as you could expect. Honestly, the market has been rallying on mixed data, mixed earnings, mixed guidance all year long. And after, any time last year, any kind of flaw, the market would sell things off. Here, definitely a change. NASDAQ leading the way, strong action today. And really, today it's not necessarily a decisive day or anything like that, because if you look on a weekly chart today, so far the market is trading within last week, and the prior week traded within the prior week, and which is nice. This is nice. We ran up for 5 straight weeks. We've pulled back modestly, and now moving up a little bit here. So I think this is showing constructive action. The fact that leading stocks are sort of chomping at the bit to break out, it's sort of a signal that investors definitely want to be ready to be buying more stocks. And I understand if some of them nibbled on purchases today, because there were a number of stocks flashing buying opportunities.
Right, with the strong ascent that we saw to kick off the year, a mild pullback that's not too deep, not too little, maybe an ideal situation, one would think thus far at least, although we do have to keep in mind that we're not out of the woods in terms of clearing resistance at this 12,000 level. And as you said, with an inside week, I mean, if we really started picking up steam here, we have 3 more days left in this week, so we'll have to see what the week holds. But if we continue to run higher again, Ed, are there going to be buying opportunities among individual names, or are stocks just going to quickly look extended again?
Well, I mean, some will. I mean, some already looked extended. There was a stock that ran up, that reclaimed its buy point, just ran right through its buy zone today, really on not too much news. So yeah, this is something that you have to be ready for, and you want to try to buy as quickly as possible. So that's why you want to do the study and pick your spots and say, if this stock breaks out, I want to be ready to move, rather than, let me look around and see what's going on. Wow, that's up 10%. Let me buy it.
Right.
And then watch it come off.
Yeah. So with the upside reversal here for the NASDAQ, as we're seeing this pullback, would the expectation be that tomorrow we see more strength, given that today did appear to be resilient?
It does seem like the market wants to go higher, but the market can change its mind. We do have more economic data. There's a lot of earnings reports tonight, tomorrow morning. So if the market decides to take a negative view on the news, it can certainly turn over. But it's definitely showing the changing character this year. It's not just the rally, but even this pullback and the recent action has all been fairly positive. Just a really big change from last year.
Right. Is there concern that there could be a reaction to today's reaction that's a counter reaction as investors to continue to digest this? I guess that would be the concern. So on the upside, near term, we're looking at 12,000. Also, the high from early February. On the downside, the low from a couple of days ago in the 21-day line, along with this high from December. Those seem like the areas on the downside that we would be keeping a close eye on.
Yeah, those are all really important levels. And yeah, if the market does sell off, you have to react to that. I mean, you can look and see what the market's doing now, pretty positive, but that can change pretty quickly. So
It absolutely can. Let's take a quick look at the other major indexes before moving on to some sector ETFs. Here's the S&P, a 3-day win streak here for the S&P, also clearing a little bit of an early aggressive entry in a handle-like formation here on the index level. Taking a quick look at the weekly chart, same formation here in terms of the last couple of weeks, getting tighter and tighter. And then we can also take a look at the Dow, still lagging, down today, but off its lows, still around that 34,000 level. So it does seem also at this 34,300 level, pretty clear area of resistance to keep tabs on if we do see it clear that. And then also the Russell 2000, here's the IWM ETF, not the strongest performance here today, but still holding above the 21-day line and its highs from late last year. Let's also take a look at the 10-year Treasury yield, Ed. So this was up today, and recently we did see it clearing a trend line to the upside. But this is something that we don't really want to see, clearing a trend line to the upside if we want the market to keep rolling full steam ahead. But it didn't seem to stop stocks today.
Yeah, part of this rise is because there's less of a fear of a recession, which is a positive thing for the market. So it's not just that there's a concern about inflation, it's also this. So there were other treasury yields. The 6-month yield is now over 5%. So expectations of more rate hikes, but some of that reflects positive news out there.
Okay. And then in terms of sectors we're watching, here's XLE up fractionally by the end of the day today. So holding tight after a strong day on Friday. Then we have XME, the metals and mining stocks, had a strong day today, up 2.4%. Chips also with a strong day today here, Ed, finishing the day up 2.2%.
Again, a lot of these different sectors, there's a lot of strength out there, despite it was better than the indexes showed.
Yes. And now let's take a look at those stocks. Here's Boeing, one we've been keeping an eye on for a flat base breakout. Looks like we got that today, Ed, with the stock up 1.3%, some above average volume. Seeing a lot of blue volume spikes here for Boeing over the last couple of months, and underscoring the strength. We see the recent action holding support at the 21-day line along this move. So a bullish day and week taking shape here for Boeing.
Yeah, you could use that as sort of that flat base kind of action, or treat that as a handle to a long consolidation. I mean, it just took a break after a big run up from a bottoming base. And, so it was nice action in here, just showing you they got a big order from Air India. So there's been a lot of, again, there's a lot of the travel theme, and just a sign that there's going to be some long-term growth for Boeing after some really rough years. That should turn around this year and in the coming years.
Yeah, and even though this does look quite strong, I mean, this looks like an entry we would use in 2020, not something we've been talking about all too often lately. Should it be a concern actually that it didn't pause more and come down to the 50-day line in this space?
I mean, the problem is when the market is rallying this strong, just going sideways is a pause.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see how that RS line, which, mind you, it had a big run. Anytime, that's not a horrible thing here. So yeah, if this were the market going sideways, then you might expect, hey, let's get a pullback. And there was almost a pullback to the 10-week line. You can see there, It almost came down. Yeah, but yeah, when the market is
So we'll give that.
Yeah.
But you're right. Sorry, I interrupted you. When the
No,
market is running and you want to be in leading stocks, well, they're going to be running too, or not pausing for too long. And now let's take a look at Wingstop. Is this one flying? Well, today up 4.6%, 2 days in a row of some pretty strong volume to the upside as it breaks out of this cup with handle, Ed.
Yeah, I mean, there was sort of like at the end of yesterday or the beginning of today, you could have bought it up from breaking the downtrend, which would have been nice to do. But of course, the market was whipsawing around. It was a little bit of turbulence to buy this wing, but strengthened, breaking out here. There are earnings in 8 days, but showing real strength here. It is an awfully high valuation for a restaurant stock, but so that is something to keep in mind. but this is doing really well and just showed a lot of good technical action today.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at Marriott, MAR, with a strong day of its own today, up 4%, strong volume. We've got the earnings report. We did see a slight deceleration in both the top and bottom lines, but still really strong numbers here. Earnings up 51%, revenue up 33%. And going on over to a weekly chart, clearing a handle from a very long cup with handle base here. And it looks like if it can keep it up, Ed, it would be an all-time closing high this week.
Yeah, so pretty nice action. And obviously the comparisons are starting to get a little bit more difficult as we came out of that. Revenue is up versus pre-pandemic levels, revenue per available room. So still, and they had pretty good guidance. Travel is back from a number of things. We've seen that was airlines. Marriott broke out today. Airbnb looks like it is going to be off to the races tomorrow. If you go look on a daily, it was right around sort of a cup with handle buy point, almost got there. You could have, if it hadn't been for the earnings, you could have tried to buy it. Flying out of strong results here. Also, TripAdvisor, TRIP, that looks like it moved back into a buy zone. Looks like it's going to move higher. So there's a lot of signs here, again, showing the breadth of the rally, and it's nice to see the sector moving here. Some of these are going to be moving pretty fast, some of these names, and so you can't buy them all, and not all of them are even available, but it's a positive sign as you look around. Hey, is any other stock from the sector doing well? And what's so great is right now, yeah, from a whole lot of stocks and a whole lot of sectors, that's actually true. So again, definitely a good time to be taking advantage of things.
Yeah, great points all around, Ed. And I think it's worth emphasizing what you said, and that's that you don't have to buy everything that is moving or breaking out or clearing an entry as identified on pattern recognition. It's really important right now to be discerning, to keep a level head, even though it's exciting after a bear market to be seeing all of these stocks performing well and to be having more opportunities to add stocks to our portfolio. But we want the A team, right? We want to be very discerning with what it is that we're adding to our portfolio, to be picky, to not just date anyone. We got to be selective, right?
Yeah, and not just selective, also have some diversity in there. Like, okay, Marriott looks good, Airbnb looks good, TripAdvisor looks good, but I wouldn't make a portfolio of those three stocks. If you want to have, there's chips, there's mining, there's all sorts of things, lots of growth stocks. So make sure you're discerning, but also picking around that you get into a variety of sectors that are doing well.
Yeah, put yourself out there, put your feelers out there. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I like that, Ed. All right. Thanks so much, everyone. And we will be back with more tomorrow morning on IEBD Live. So we really hope you join us for the latest breakdown on current market conditions, stocks that we have our eyes on, and so much more, all to help you make better trading decisions and manage your portfolio. So we'll see you 10 minutes before the opening bell, investors.com/IBD Live for more details. We'll see you there, and we'll also see you right back here tomorrow after the close.